So it does a very important job. As I said, she is feeding our penguins, but she will also be at the same time scribing for the penguins. So you'll notice that she has a clipboard in her hand, and on that clipboard she'll be taking note of who is eating and how much they're eating, and this is for health and monitoring purposes. Now, as you can see, our penguins are approaching Amy, and she's presenting them with a fish, and it might look a little bit uncomfortable or as if she is force feeding them. However, this is not the case at all. If you look very closely at their mouths, you'll notice their beaks, you'll notice that they do not have any teeth. What they do have in place of teeth are backwards facing bristles. These bristles will latch onto the fish and guide the fish down their throats. So there's no chewing in the eating process, and yes, they do swallow the fish whole. As you can see, there are a few fish laying on the floor, penguins on the sand, and that is them rejecting the fish. So these penguins are very picky eaters. When Amy presents them with a fish, they taste a little bit of the fish, they even look at the texture and the size of the fish, and if that's not up to their standards, they'll simply reject the fish and move on to the next fish. So they will either drop it into the sand or they will shake their heads as if they are saying no. In a few seconds, you should see Amy tossing a fish into the water, and this is due to personal preference. As I've said, they are quite picky eaters, so some prefer to be hand-fed, and then some prefer to actually dive for their fish. So as you can see, some of our penguins are waiting along the water line, and they're able to toss the fish now, and I'm surprised that Chuck is not in the water. And Chuck is the penguin with the white spots on his back, so he's quite easy to identify. But in terms of identifying the rest of the penguins on this beach, it's quite easy. You actually look at their chest areas, and on this chest area they have a black spot pattern, and this pattern is unique to each and every single bird on the beach, and it will be compared to our fingerprints. Now, a few seconds ago, I did mention Chuck, and I mentioned how easy he is to identify because of the white spot on his back. There are two other birds on this beach that are also easy to identify because of certain physical characteristics. For example, the fish is eating closest to you by walking towards the water. If you look at her left flipper, is shorter than her right flipper, so she does have a piece of her left flipper missing. And then you have her partner. He's currently in the nest behind me over here. His name is Aya, and he has a left eye missing. So he's quite cute that they chose to be lifelong partners with each other, and they are both missing things on the left-hand side. Seems like Diesel really wanted that fish. If you have a look at what our penguins are wearing today, as they are every day, so black and white tuxedo. So this helps them with camouflage. So if you have a look at the top, which is black, and the bellies are bottom, which is white in color, this helps them to camouflage in the water. So if there are predators swimming above them, the black on their backs will actually camouflage in the ocean floor. And if there are predators swimming below them looking up, the white on their bellies actually camouflages with the sunlight hitting the surface of the water. They are also what we call sexually monomorphic, known as sexually monomorphic, and this means that we cannot look at their physical features to determine the gender of the penguin. We actually have to do DNA testing. So you might notice that some of the names on the placards over here by Sandy Beach on the pillar, as well as Rocky Shore, there are pictures there with the names of the penguins. You might see that it is a male but has a more female associated name. For example, Tasman on this beach is a male but has a female name, and this is because we do give them their name before they are sexed. So it does seem like the heat is starting to slow down on this side. I'm going to hop over to the Northern Grasshopper Beach and give you some information on those penguins as well.
Northern Grasshopper penguins are found on the
islands surrounding Antarctica. So that's just in the Kuna. And the reason that these penguins are here is because ships crossing those islands actually keep these penguins on board as pets. They catch them to sell and be illegal wildlife pet trade. And once they enter South African waters, it is illegal to have these penguins on board because they are not listed on permanent license. And so what they do is they actually throw these penguins overboard. These penguins do end up being disorientated due to the warmer temperatures and warmer water temperatures. And so this will be these new rock penguins forever.
Sure.
Some of you might be wondering why I'm making that statement. Why can we not just take them back? It's not as simple as that. So we do not know which colonies these penguins come from. So that is the creative name. Is a colony of penguins. We do not know which colony they are from or which island they are from. So it might be really difficult to do so. So while they spend their time making two oceans of Australia, they are exposed to different pathogens, and that is from the other penguins inside of this exhibit, but also from us humans. And releasing them in the wild might actually do more harm to the wild population than good.